Negative 1,424 feet. This number does not measure the depth of the ocean. It measures where you are standing on dry land. And this is only the beginning of Jordan's great paradoxes. It is the lowest point on Earth's surface. A country that lies below sea level yet holds monuments carved into the tops of towering mountains. A land where nearly 90% is unforgiving desert, yet it became the cradle of some of humanity's brightest civilizations. From the abyss of the Dead Sea to the majesty of Petra, Jordan proves one truth. In the harshest places, people and nature create the most astonishing masterpieces. It is no coincidence that this place has become a mecca for explorers and Hollywood directors. From the footsteps of Lawrence of Arabia to the magnificent sci-fi frames, this land has a strange magic. Let's explore the mystery of the Red Desert, Wadi Rum. A desert so vast and silent that many compare it to the surface of Mars, yet it carries the unmistakable heartbeat of human history. Recognized by UNESCO in 2011 as both a natural and cultural World Heritage Site, this valley has been home to Bedouin tribes for countless generations. Their black tents, their camel caravans, their poetry and hospitality all weave a living culture that UNESCO also honors as intangible heritage. But the story of Wadi Rum stretches far deeper. More than 12,000 years of human presence are etched into its canyon walls, with Nabatean, Thamudic, and early Islamic carvings offering quiet proof that people have crossed this desert long before written history began. During the Arab Revolt of 1917 to 1918, T.E. Lawrence traveled through this landscape, leaving behind legends that still cling to the wind. His name lives on at Lawrence's Spring, where fresh water seeps from a tall cliff, feeding a pocket of green life in a world of red stone. Hidden nearby, the narrow Khazali Gorge opens up a quiet space where the cliffs embrace carvings of people, camels, and ancient prayers. It is a shady library in the burning desert, preserving the imprints of anonymous hands from thousands of years ago. Behind the canyon, the sandstone has formed itself into strange shapes. Fruth Stone Bridge. A fragile strip of sandstone stretches across the open space. The scorching winds and the patience of time have polished this rough sandstone into a slender bridge, stretching across the desert sky. The climb to the top of the bridge only takes a few minutes, but the feeling of standing there, suspended between the sky and the desert, lingers much longer, as if the landscape is silently holding its breath below you. On the other side of the valley, Petra rises like a monument of creation. It is a giant stone arch suspended in the sky. The journey to conquer is not for the hurried, having to weave through steep cliffs and rock bands eroded by the sun and wind for thousands of years. When reaching the top, there is a breathtaking 360-degree view where the desert opens up endlessly in all directions, feeling like standing on the roof of an ancient world. Approaching the sanctuary, the majestic figure of the 7 Pillars of Wisdom rises up into the sky, layered stone columns that inspired the title of Lawrence's famous memoir. In the silence of the desert, nature and history blend together, reminding us that beauty often comes from the harshest places on earth. If Wadi Rum is a majestic symphony sculpted by nature, the next destination is an eternal testament to human intelligence. Saying goodbye to the wild red planet, let's step into the heart of the mountain to touch the legend, the Rose City of Petra. Nestled in the fiery cliffs is an ancient city meticulously carved down to the last detail, the Rose City. It is the greatest legacy of the Nabateans, the brilliant merchants who used the wealth of the spice trade to transform the rough sandstone into a magnificent capital. Recognized by UNESCO in 1985 as a World Heritage Site and later named one of the new 7 Wonders of the World in 2007, Petra stretches across nearly 100 square miles of rugged mountains and hidden valleys. The journey begins in the Sik, a narrow gorge that winds for nearly 3/4 of a mile between towering walls that rise as high as 260 feet. The light narrows, the temperature drops, and footsteps echo softly on stone that has carried travelers for more than 2,000 years. On the steep cliffs, the water channels appear like the veins of the city. This is the most eloquent proof of the power of the Nabateans. Who did not accept the aridity of nature, but tamed the desert to turn the stones into a source of life. And then, at the Sik's final bend, the canyon opens like a curtain, revealing the most iconic facade in the Middle East, the treasury. With a height of roughly 130 feet, the treasury, or Al-Khazne, appears almost unreal, its columns and sculptures carved directly from a single vertical cliff. Legend has it that a priceless treasure was hidden in a stone jar at the highest point of the structure. Bullet holes on the jar show that treasure hunters tried their luck. But in truth, this was the tomb of a Nabatean king, a place of reverence, not riches, and the lasting symbol of Petra's genius. Deep inside the mountains rises the monastery, or Ad-Dair, a structure even larger than the treasury, reached by climbing more than 800 rock-cut steps. Weathered and monumental, it stands in quiet isolation on a windswept plateau, offering panoramic views over the Aqaba Valley. Few places capture the power of Petra's scale like this lone giant. High above the city sits the high place of sacrifice, one of the rare Nabatean ritual sites left untouched by time. Here, altars and blood-run channels carved directly into the bedrock reveal where ancient ceremonies once took place. From this height, the entire heart of Petra spreads out below, a view as commanding as it is humbling. Below the cliff is the royal tomb, a magnificent series of structures tinged with the colors of nature. Here, the majestic structures appear proudly, wearing a multicolored coat bestowed by nature. The combination of human sculpting and the weathered color bands of the stone has created a surreal beauty. The magical blend of red, orange, white, and blue tones has transformed this place into a surreal palette. At the Silk Tomb, nature seems to have spontaneously painted on the cliffs, creating enchanting, winding lines, not knowing whether it is a geological creation or a forgotten masterpiece of painting. Further down the valley stands the Great Temple, Petra's largest architectural complex, once spanning nearly 2 acres. Its toppled columns and broad staircases hint at the political and ceremonial life that once animated this stone metropolis. Dominating the valley is the crescent shape of a great Roman theater carved into the mountainside. The rows of stone benches worn by time are living proof that Petra was once bustling. From intricately carved mausoleums to terraces reaching to the sky, Petra is like a tragic symphony suspended in the desert. A lost city, a forgotten beauty, now resurrected more brightly than ever. Looking at the landscape ahead, you think this place is the sea, right? If so, you are wrong. It is not the sea. This is a closed saltwater lake called the Dead Sea. Its surface lies at negative 1,424 feet below sea level, the lowest point on Earth's surface. This is the lowest place a human can stand on dry land without descending underground. Why is a saltwater lake called a sea? The answer lies in its nature. The Dead Sea holds a salinity of nearly 33%, almost 10 times saltier than the ocean. To the ancients, any body of water so vast and so unimaginably salty could have only one name: sea. The Dead Sea's salinity is so high that no fish can survive, giving it its haunting name. But it is in this salinity that a physical miracle occurs. At Dead Sea beaches, the human body naturally floats without the need to swim, thanks to the high salinity of the water. Nearby, the famous black mud, rich in magnesium, calcium, and potassium, smooths the skin like a natural spa treatment and is praised worldwide for its therapeutic properties. This entire basin sits within the Great Jordan Rift Valley, a geological corridor stretching across continents. With no outlet to the sea, water escapes only through evaporation, leaving behind extraordinary salt formations, winding spirals, salt islands, and bright white terraces that glitter in the sunlight. But behind the stillness of its surface, change is unfolding. The Dead Sea is shrinking by nearly 3 feet each year, and shifting groundwater has begun to create dangerous sinkholes along its shores, now one of Jordan's most serious environmental challenges. The harshness is also what creates the beauty of the Dead Sea, a place both strange and unique, hard to find anywhere else. Nestled in the cliffs of the eastern Dead Sea, this majestic canyon cuts deep through the mountains, forming the heart of the Mujib Biosphere Reserve. A UNESCO-recognized area known for its rare ecosystems and remarkable geology. Often referred to as the Grand Canyon of Jordan, Wadi Mujib is a turbulent geological landscape. Here, the continuous physical impact between the rushing water and the rock structure creates a rugged and constantly changing terrain over thousands of years. The Wadi Mujib Sikh Trail is the reserve's most iconic route, a water canyoning journey unlike anything else in the Middle East. Here you can wade through warm amber water, climb ropes beside small waterfalls, and drift between sandstone walls hundreds of feet high. Every turn of the canyon reveals a new light, a new sound. Between these cliffs is the ideal habitat of the Nubian ibex, an animal that is highly adaptable to the harsh terrain and climate conditions of the desert. On that barren cliff, a Nubian ibex with curved sickle-shaped horns was climbing with all its might, using its specially forked hooves to grip the rocky ledges, searching for the rare food source in this place. Each of its movements was absolutely precise, helping it maintain perfect balance on the rough terrain. However, the scarcity of resources had led to conflict. But today, in order to compete for food, 2 male ibex had engaged in a dangerous battle right on the edge of the cliff. In fact, most ibex move in small groups of about 5 to 15. These combatants are usually the alpha males who wander alone, only joining the herd during mating season. However, this rare mountain goat species is classified as near threatened by the IUCN due to habitat loss and illegal hunting. Wadi Mujib is a vibrant intersection where geology and ecology converge. Between its turbulent streams and steep cliffs, it creates a panorama that fully exposes the wild vitality of Jordan's nature. Tucked between the cliffs east of the Dead Sea lies one of Jordan's most soothing natural wonders, the Ma'in hot springs. The water here begins its journey high on the plateau, where rainfall slowly seeps deep into the earth. As it descends, it encounters pockets of geothermal heat, warming steadily before rising back to the surface with remarkable force. Steaming hot waterfalls cascade down limestone walls, creating a volcanic mist. Depending on the spring, the water flows at temperatures ranging from 104 degrees Fahrenheit to nearly 145 degrees Fahrenheit, creating natural pools that have drawn travelers for centuries. The most dramatic of these is the main waterfall, a towering curtain of mineral-rich water that plunges into a warm basin below. Standing beneath its heavy flow, surrounded by clouds of vapor, feels like entering a natural spa carved by geology rather than human hands. The appearance of steaming hot waterfalls in the middle of this arid land is a testament to the special favor that nature has bestowed on Jordan, an isolated oasis where water and temperature together create a space of absolute relaxation. Before Rome became an empire, this place existed, Amman, one of the oldest cities of mankind. For more than 7,000 years, people have lived on this land, from Neolithic settlements to Greek foundations, from Roman grandeur to Byzantine devotion, and into the Islamic eras that shaped the city we see today. At the heart of this legacy stands the Amman Citadel, perched on the highest hill in the city. The most striking landmark is the Temple of Hercules, a Roman monument built in the 2nd century during the reign of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. In its age, this was one of the largest temples in the Decapolis, the League of 10 great Roman cities. Today, only 2 colossal limestone columns still rise, each about 33 feet tall, and has become an unmistakable symbol of Amman. Lying quietly on the ground are giant stone fingers, the only remaining remnants of the legendary statue of Hercules. This lonely fragment is the most eloquent testimony to the grandeur and magnificence that the ancients once achieved. A few paces from the temple, the terrain shifts into the early Islamic period, marked by the architectural footprint of the Umayyad palace complex. The architecture blends early Islamic motifs with Roman and Byzantine influences, creating a style found almost nowhere else. Its circular dome hall, reconstructed in modern times to reflect its original form, stands as the complex's most striking feature. A monumental colonnaded gateway leads inward toward residential quarters, storage rooms, and even a set of Umayyad baths inspired by Roman traditions. Together, these remains sketch the outline of a ruling center that oversaw Amman more than a millennium ago. Farther along the ridge sits the Byzantine church, built in the 6th century when Christianity flourished across the region. Designed as a 3-aisle basilica, it still preserves its limestone columns and broad stone flooring. In sunlight, fragments of ancient mosaics appear like muted echoes of the artistry that once filled the sanctuary. Amman Citadel stands as a place where eras intersect, each civilization leaving behind its architecture, its beliefs, and its quiet imprint on the hilltop. Right at the foot of the bustling downtown, the Roman theater stands tall like an immortal witness. Built in the 2nd century during the reign of Emperor Antoninus Pius, it dates back to the era when Amman was known as Philadelphia, one of the distinguished cities of the Roman Decapolis. Carved directly into the slope of a northern hillside, the theater could hold as many as 6,000 spectators, making it the largest in Jordan. Its acoustic design is a testament to Roman mastery. Stand at the very center of the stage, speak in a normal voice, and the sound rises naturally through the seating tiers, reaching the highest rows without the need for amplification. Even after nearly 2 millennia, the theater still performs exactly as its builders intended, a living demonstration of Roman architectural intelligence, preserved in the heart of modern Amman. If Amman is a monochrome picture of white stone houses, the King Abdullah I Mosque is the most brilliant point. This structure stands tall in the center of the city, dedicated to the founder of the Kingdom of Jordan. Its great blue dome, a brilliant circle of glazed tiles, spans roughly 115 feet across, creating a striking silhouette against the sky. The architecture blends modern Islamic design with traditional Arab ornamentation, forming a space that feels both contemporary and deeply rooted in regional heritage. Inside, the mosque opens into a vast prayer hall where soft light filters across patterned carpets and geometric motifs. It is one of the few mosques in Jordan that welcomes non-Muslim visitors, offering travelers a chance to step quietly into the spiritual heart of the city. At the eastern end, there is a place with a historic mission, Shaumari Reserve, which was built to provide life and a second home for Jordan's wild animals. Shaumari is a testament to the success of conservation efforts here, which have saved the Arabian oryx from extinction. Now Jordan's national animal is free again, marking a remarkable achievement for human efforts. With its pure white coat and long straight horns that rise like twin blades, The oryx once roamed across the Arabian deserts. But by the mid-20th century, it had vanished completely from the wild. Shaumari became the site of Jordan's first successful reintroduction, breeding a new herd of antelope and releasing them into the basalt desert and sparse grasslands they were born to inhabit. In addition, Shaumari is also home to many other rare desert animals. Notable among them is the red-necked ostrich, a once absent native species that has now been successfully reintroduced and is now roaming freely on the vast sand dunes of the reserve. Shaumari also marks the return of the Persian onager, the Asian wild ass that had disappeared from Jordan. Thanks to a long-term conservation program, the slender onagers now roam freely across the basalt plains, restoring a species that was historically associated with the Middle Eastern desert. Shaumari, where extinct species reappear and where the desert reveals its regenerative abilities. Far from the glitz and glamour of the West, Azraq hides in the rugged beauty of the Black Desert, a land of volcanic rock and nomadic tribes where every step you take will be a reminder of the great marches of history. At its center stands Qasr Al-Azraq, the Blue Castle, a fortress whose dark walls have witnessed emperors, armies, and one of the most famous figures of the Arab Revolt. For T.E. Lawrence, this was his winter headquarters during the Arab uprising of 1917 to 1918. The small room he once used still overlooks the southern gate, preserved with a simplicity. Qasr Al-Azraq owes its stark beauty to its black basalt architecture. Unlike the rose and gold sandstone of Petra or the red cliffs of Wadi Rum, this fortress was built entirely from volcanic stone. The effect is dramatic. The walls appear almost metallic in the sunlight, dark and solid, giving the castle a sense of permanence in the desert. Its most distinctive feature is the massive stone doors, each wing created from a single stone slab weighing several tons. Yet thanks to a simple, ingenious system invented by Roman and later Byzantine builders, these heavy doors could still be pushed open by hand. Few structures in the Middle East display such a clear and direct expression of ancient engineering. Beyond the fortress walls, Azraq's desert plains shelter one of the region's rarest nocturnal hunters, the Arabian sand cat. Small and seldom seen, it is one of the world's rarest wild felines. Its paws are covered in thick fur, allowing it to move silently across scorching desert sands. Azraq may seem quiet, but this is a place where basalt rocks protect centuries of human struggle and where fragile animals continue to survive under the desert's life. From a distance, Quseir Amra appears like a small, rough block of limestone in the desert. But this seemingly simple structure holds one of the greatest artistic treasures of the early Islamic world. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, this Umayyad-era site is of value far beyond its modest architectural scale. It is considered a precious artifact reflecting the early stages of Islamic art, a time when conventions were not strictly bound and creativity was rarely expressed. Inside its stone walls, the paintings of Quseir Amra form one of the most important collections of early Islamic frescoes anywhere on earth. On one wall appears the famous Six Kings portrait. Rulers from Byzantium, Persia, and beyond, created with a boldness seldom seen in later Islamic art. Nearby, scenes of hunting, music, and dancing reveal the refined pleasures of Umayyad courtly life, capturing a world of leisure that once unfolded in the desert. Above all, the vaulted ceiling displays a celestial map, considered one of the earliest known illustrations of constellations. The stars painted on it still shine faintly after more than 1,000 years, a testament to scientific thinking ahead of its time. Quseir Amra stands apart because its art was created before those boundaries were fully drawn. In the quiet of the desert, the Umayyads left behind a visual record that is both daring and deeply human. Once buried under meters of sand for centuries, Jerash has been awakened to become the best-preserved Roman city in the world. Often called the Pompeii of the East, it rivals the great archaeological sites of Italy and Turkey, not through tragedy, but through survival. Here, entire streets, plazas, temples, and theaters still rise much as they did nearly 2 millennia ago. Hadrian's Arch stands tall as the main gateway into Jerash, a triumphal arch built in the year 129 to honor the visit of Emperor Hadrian. With its towering stonework and 3 imposing aisles, the arch remains the grand ceremonial entrance to Jerash, setting the tone for the ruins that stretch out behind. At the heart of the city lies the astonishing Oval Plaza, a sweeping, open space unlike anything else in the Roman world. It is framed by 56 Ionic columns. This plaza serves as the architectural bridge between Jerash's Roman city plan and the older settlement beneath it. Embodying a blend of cultures shaped over centuries. From the plaza, the colonnaded street, or Cardo Maximus, stretches forward, nearly half a mile of original Roman paving stones. Along its length stand hundreds of columns, many still upright, guiding visitors through what once was the commercial spine of the city. Walking here, time seems to slow down. The ancient carriage wheel marks are still clearly visible underfoot. Just off this main avenue lies the Jerash Hippodrome, the Roman chariot racing arena where crowds once gathered to watch thundering horse races and military demonstrations. Its elongated oval field and surrounding seating echo the excitement of ancient competitions, bringing another layer of Roman life into vivid focus. Perched high above the lower city is the Temple of Artemis, dedicated to Jerash's patron goddess. The massive Corinthian columns here reflect the sophistication of Roman engineering, designed to flex in response to seismic forces. This resistance is demonstrated by placing a metal object, such as a spoon, in the gap at the base of the column to observe the movement of the structure. Jerash is also home to two remarkable theaters. The South Theater, the larger of the two, once held about 5,000 spectators and remains acoustically impeccable. Its broad seating arc often hosts performances of bagpipes, a tradition carried into the Jordanian military from British influence. The Northern Theater, smaller and more intimate, serves administrative and civic meetings, offering a quieter atmosphere than the Grand Theater in the South. Rather than just scattered ruins, Jerash exists as a complete Roman urban complex. The durability of these structures makes the actual structure of the city look as it did thousands of years ago. Known throughout the Middle East as the Mosaic City, Madaba is home to some of the finest masterpieces of Byzantine craftsmanship ever discovered. The most obvious is the Madaba mosaic map, preserved under the floor of St. George's Church. Created in the 6th century, it is the oldest surviving map of Palestine and the Holy Land. A vivid tableau of ancient Jerusalem, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea, and the long-lost towns of the Levant. Its detail is so precise that modern archaeologists have used it to identify forgotten sites. For scholars, it is nothing less than the Byzantine world's Google Maps, a priceless record of geography and faith. Not far away is another sacred place, Moses Memorial Church. The modern structure stands atop the remains of a 4th century Byzantine church, echoing centuries of pilgrimage to this hill. Inside, the floors unfold into a gallery of intricate mosaics, hunting scenes, animals, birds, and geometric designs, each one crafted from thousands of tiny stones. These mosaics speak to the artistic richness of early Christianity in the region, preserved beneath centuries of dust. Towering over the land and sky is the legendary Mount Nebo, one of the most sacred sites in the Holy Land. Revered by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, it is where the prophet Moses stopped to take his last look at the Promised Land before his death. The summit has a quiet, profound spirit because of its sweeping views of the Jordan Valley. On clear days, you can see the sparkling Dead Sea below, and even glimpse Jerusalem in the distance. The summit is marked by the striking serpent cross, a bronze sculpture intertwining the biblical serpent with the Christian cross, created by an Italian artist. Today, it has become the defining symbol of Mount Nebo, a reminder of healing, sacrifice, and the long spiritual journey of the people who walked this land. Madaba and Mount Nebo form a new chapter of Jordan, where history and faith remain inseparable, a mosaic of cultures, beliefs, and sacred landscapes always preserved. At the southern tip of Jordan lies Aqaba, the nation's only gateway to the sea, a warm, sunlit shoreline where the Red Sea opens into one of the most vibrant marine ecosystems on Earth. With mild temperatures throughout the year, Aqaba offers swimming, snorkeling, and diving in every season, making it a rare coastal refuge in the Middle East. The Red Sea beaches of Aqaba are famed for their clarity and color. Here, the water is so transparent that coral formations appear almost illuminated from within, shifting between shades of violet, gold, and deep turquoise. Aqaba's reefs are among the healthiest in the world, thriving right off the shoreline. From the beach, the geography itself feels extraordinary. You can look across the water and see Egypt, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, all from a single point along Jordan's coast. Beneath the surface, the reefs unfold like living architecture. Schools of fish sweep through the coral in bright flashes of orange. Even at shallow depths, the underwater visibility reveals layer after layer of life, turning Aqaba's coastline into one of the most accessible and breathtaking coral habitats in the region. Aqaba also offers an experience found nowhere else on the planet: the Underwater Military Museum. As part of a bold environmental initiative, Jordan deliberately placed tanks, armored vehicles, a helicopter, and even a C-1-30 transport aircraft on the seabed to form artificial reefs. Over time, coral has begun to wrap around these silent machines, transforming instruments of war into unexpected sanctuaries for marine life. For divers, swimming through these -1,424 feet. This number does not measure the depth of the ocean. It measures where you are standing on dry land. And this is only the beginning of Jordan's great paradoxes. It is the lowest point on Earth's surface. A country that lies below sea level yet holds monuments carved into the tops of towering mountains. a land where nearly 90% is unforgiving desert. Yet it became the cradle of some of humanity's brightest civilizations. From the abyss of the Dead Sea to the majesty of Petra, Jordan proves one truth. In the astonishing masterpieces. 1. Wadi Rum. It is no coincidence that this place has become a mecca for explorers and Hollywood directors. From the footsteps of Lawrence of Arabia to the magnificent sci-fi frames, this land has a strange magic. Let's explore the mystery of the Red Desert, Wadi Rum. A desert so vast and silent that many compare it to the surface of Mars, yet it carries the unmistakable heartbeat of human history. Recognized by UNESCO in 2011 as both a natural and cultural World Heritage Site, this valley has been home to Bedouin tribes for countless generations. Their black tents, their camel caravans, their poetry and hospitality all weave a living culture that UNESCO also honors as intangible heritage. But the story of Wadi Rum stretches far deeper. More than 12,000 years of human presence are etched into its canyon walls, with Nabatean, Thamudic, and early Islamic carvings offering quiet proof that people have crossed this desert long before written history began. During the Arab Revolt of 1917 to 1918, T.E. Lawrence traveled through this landscape, leaving behind legends that still cling to the wind. His name lives on at Lawrence's Spring, where fresh water seeps from a tall cliff, feeding a pocket of green life in a world of red stone. Hidden nearby, the narrow Khazali carvings of people, camels, and ancient prayers. It is a shady library in the burning desert, preserving the imprints of anonymous hands from thousands of years ago. Behind the canyon, the sandstone has formed itself into strange shapes. Fruth Stone Bridge. A fragile strip of sandstone stretches across the open space. The scorching winds and the patience of time have polished this rough sandstone into a slender bridge, stretching across the desert sky. The climb to the top of the bridge only takes a few minutes, but the feeling of standing there, suspended between the sky and the desert, lingers much longer, as if the landscape is silently holding its breath below you. On the other side of the valley, Petra rises like a monument of creation. It is a giant stone arch suspended in the sky. The journey to conquer is not for the hurried, having to weave through steep cliffs and rock bands eroded by the sun and wind for thousands of years. When reaching the top, there is a breathtaking 360-degree view where the desert opens up endlessly in all directions, feeling like standing on the roof of an ancient world. Approaching the sanctuary, the majestic figure of the 7 pillars of wisdom rises up into the sky, layered stone columns that inspired the title of Lawrence's famous memoir. In the silence of the desert, nature and history blend together, reminding us that beauty often comes from the harshest places on earth. 2. Petra. If Wadi Rum is a majestic symphony sculpted by nature, the next destination is an eternal testament to human intelligence. Saying goodbye to the wild red planet, let's step into the heart of 1,424 feet. This number does not measure the depth of the ocean. It measures where you are standing on dry land. And this is only the beginning of Jordan's great paradoxes. It is the lowest point on Earth's surface. A country that lies below sea level yet holds monuments carved into the tops of towering mountains. A land where nearly 90% is unforgiving desert, yet it became the cradle of some of